This Nigerian News Center, where look at happenings in Nigeria and globally. Mr. TINUBU Michael, welcome to this program.
Good morning.
Let me ask you this question that is trending in Nigeria currently. There are indications that the renowned Yoruba Nation agitator, Sunday Igboho, is claiming that TINUBU is likely the last president of Nigeria. What is your reaction?
That would be a very good one if that. Would I call it prophecy? If that will come to pass, because there are no. He might have his own personal information in that regard, or his analysis.
If that should happen, what is your reaction?
It will be the most important thing, you know. It will be what Nigerians should pray for. Why? Because the system is not working, and TINUBU has also proved that, you know, that he does not have what it takes, and possibly, even though some people have been saying it, that, you know, some of his policies, this kind of hardship, can lead to uprising, and all indices are pointing that towards that. At the end of the day, we will not be able to find a solution to, you know, the current economic issue, you know, that came about by giving his policies, you know, he brought. So if Sunday Igboho is saying that TINUBU is likely going to be the last president of Nigeria, it is a welcome development. But how that thing is going to work out, you know, it remains a pipe dream, you know, because there are no signs of that, unless maybe he's foreseeing a situation where it will get to a particular point, you know, there'll be a kind of uprising, you know, in the Senate, or uprising that will lead to impeachment of the president himself. You know, maybe from that angle, that's what he's looking at. You know, maybe he has certain information that some northerners, you know, are really ambushing or are working underground, you know, to see how, you know, they are going to assess his government, you know, whether it favors them. Then if it does not favor them, they might decide to do one or two things, you know, to remove TINUBU from power. Because as I'm talking to you now, there is this understanding that TINUBU has successfully Yorubalized, you know, his administration. Most of his cabinet members, his ministers, you know, are all, you know, people from the southwest. Most of them are people from the southwest, and most of his policies are seen as anti-north, you know. And I don't know, maybe from that angle that Igboho is trying to let Nigeria say that, you know, TINUBU is likely going to be the last president. Another point that I'm picking from that statement is this: you know, it is time for Nigeria to be renegotiated, you know, and from all indications, TINUBU should have been in that position, you know. Though recently he adopted one very important report, you know, that will see government agencies, you know, being brought together. Like we have 1 to 5, we call one. You know, a lot of reforms is going to implement that report. I think something I can remember Oluseya report or something. Oluseya report. Yes, that's it. You know, he's also trying to do 1 or 2 things. So I think if Nigeria is renegotiated by Nigerians themselves, there will be no fear of who is going to whether TINUBU is going to be the last president or not. But actually, there is another indication that even Sunday Igboho have said that even TINUBU cannot stop Yoruba agitation. Could that be because you know that once Yoruba agitation and nation is actualized, Biafra becomes a country, maybe Arewa becomes a country, of course there will be no Nigeria. Could that be the reason people are that position? No, we shouldn't. The issue of Odua Republic and the Biafra Republic is a different thing.
No, what I'm saying is
fine, okay, if I can get you
because there are indications that the Sunday Igboho have said that even the TINUBU cannot stop Yoruba agitation.
Of course, that should be right. But if you say something like that, that should be right. But what that means is that, you know, at this point in time, you know, there might be some certain factors, you know, that would have aided and be able to engineer the spreading of the Odua Republican agitation. You know, given that, you know, there will be lesser threat to agitators. You know, given that there's this chemistry relationship, you know, between the president, who is believed to come from the southwest. You know, there might not be use of extensive force, you know, compared to another person from another tribe, maybe in that position of the presidency. But that, as it stands now, of course, it shouldn't, because a lot of people are believing that, given his recent utterances, you know, it's like he's becoming political. He's trying to, you know, I think he's trying to adjust himself now, you know, to what people know him for, you know, for what people understand him for, you know, as the second person in the history of the Yoruba nation, you know, to agitate for Odua Republic.
But you as a person, how do you feel with the presence of a Sunday Igboho in Nigeria?
His president, I'm not going to read any political meaning into it, or because we know the role a lot of most Yoruba leaders played when he was in custody. You know, they came running around him and all that. They did a lot of things. You know, even though Buhari killed his brothers, killed his sisters, killed a lot of people in that family. You know, the same thing he did in Afaruku Umaya, you know, against Nnamdi Kanu. You know, but Nnamdi Kanu's was quite, you know, devastating, you know, compared to what happened under Buhari during the invasion of Igboho's house. But the fact remains that Igboho came to bury his mother. That is one of the reasons why he is in Nigeria currently. But subsequently, if there's any other thing, they will begin to know actually whether he has finally come back, you know, to lead the agitation for Yoruba nation, maybe after the burial of his mother. That will be another story we are going to look into. But as it stands now, we all know that came to pay last respect to the mother.
But what I'm saying is, now, Nnamdi Kanu is still in detention. Sunday Igboho is out. And before now, some people have speculated that what is happening to Sunday Igboho has to do with federal government fighting because of self-actualization of Yoruba nation. Similar to what Nnamdi Kanu is fighting. What does it portend for Nigerian politics?
Because they have been this kind of leg-led.
Does it speak of double standard?
No, see, it is not. If you're talking about double standard, you're talking about the leadership of the country that has brought this country to the point where people no longer feel they are part of the country anymore. The nation, the leadership of this country has pushed to an extent that, you know, there is less patriotic people. People are beginning to feel bad when you talk about Nigeria. A lot of people, you know, most of these guys are ethnic lords, you know, that always listen to their people. They have seen it, they have studied it, they have endured, they have done whatever it takes for leadership to be very, very visible, significant in Nigeria. But it has continued to fail. So at that point now, they decided that this thing is not working. For 104 years, it's not working. So the best thing for them to, even when they throw up, they bring options, you know, on how Nigeria can speed up development and the rest, they still don't implement such things. Like the issue of restructuring. Up till now, it has never been implemented. So at this point in time, you know, people see themselves, some people see it as, you know, some part of the country are leveraging on them and they are not doing anything, you know, while they babu they work, working the job. You know, that is not how it's supposed to be. Everything has to be holistic. People need to define, you know, their interests. politically, economically, and otherwise. In a political setting, in a geographical setting like Nigeria, people need to know where they stand, what they are bringing to the table, what they are contributing. Very important. And this options has been there. A lot of people have said it over and over again that Nigeria is not working, and there are certain things that are making Nigeria not to work. For instance, the issue of restructuring. And most of these agitators, ethnic laws, have made similar thing that they should restructure Nigeria. At the end of the day, some people are kicking it out. Look at the 2019 confab Jonathan was conducted. That thing has not seen any light of the day. These are the things that would have dismantled this corrupt leadership and contraption called Nigeria, and allow people to play very close to democracy.
Now, finally, on this, Nnamdi Kanu appeared in court the other day. Do you see Nnamdi Kanu getting justice?
Of course, Nnamdi Kanu. I've always said it. The time has come. Nnamdi Kanu is going to be released. There will be bail application. That will be considered when he comes in the next court appearance. I think Igboho has been sounding it that this man Igboho has made at least two important signals to the federal government concerning Nnamdi Kanu. I know that
Igboho has spoken about Nnamdi Kanu.
Yes, we know that Nnamdi Kanu. These are genuine pioneers. These are genuine agitators. These are genuine people, These are models. These are role models, When it comes to, what leadership should be. Nnamdi Kanu have done outstanding things, not only in Nigeria, about Biafra. In Africa, Nnamdi Kanu is being celebrated. In fact, I think, Sunday Igboho and the rest, got inspired, from what Nnamdi Kanu was able to achieve over the years. But fortunately, because of the way Nigerian politics is being played, Sunday Igboho was left off the hook. Why? Nnamdi Kanu, who did not do anything wrong, apart from let the right thing be done, has been in custody for years. So, in the right direction, Igboho has sent a message to the TINUBU-led administration that they should leave this man. That's the word he used. That Nnamdi Kanu is innocent. It's as simple as that. They should release him. So his appearance in court, people are still assessing it. The whole world is looking at it. The international community are beginning to assess, how the judicial system in Nigeria works. A lot of people you can see him, still wearing the same clothes. It's a sign of something. It's a sign that this man is resilient, in what he wants to achieve. This man wants the right thing to be done in Africa. This man wants the right thing to be done in the black nation. This man wants the right thing to be done about leadership. And anything apart from that will lead to the disintegration, balkanization of Nigeria. That is just the truth. So, Igboho has said this, and recently he made a similar statement again, calling for the release, unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu, and that is Igboho for you.
Okay, let's